Welcome everyone to Pentakill Season 4, Week 1, Game 6. We have BCR versus PF, that is the Bandle City Rockets versus the Piltover Firelites. I'm DepressionMain. Today I am joined by VW's NuclearRewster, aka Angel, on the desk for his first cast.
Hello.
Angel, what are you seeing so far?
So I'm seeing some interesting things. I think BCR's bans make a lot of sense. Avion is Karthus one trick. Jellyfish loves Vel'Koz. She spams that. And I just learned that Kevin plays a lot of Kindred. You want to talk about PF's bans?
Yeah, Poppy into Storm Shield. That's a great ban against him. Aatrox, I didn't know that Storm Shield played, but they must have read into him a little bit if they banned that. And then a few Pines Ari is rather spooky, so I respect that ban there as well. Now we're seeing more bans into the later stage of the draft here. Obviously, these picks are not the ones that were drawn in order. We're just doing them, everybody's drafting their own. So Fiora to pinch CC's, hard carry potential in the late game, really good. Akali against, I believe that's against the top lanes. Also Storm Shield. I didn't know Storm Shield played Akali. And then Seraphine Ornn. Ornn is definitely a Storm Shield pick. And then Seraphine was looking at Avion. So lots of
I'm
bans all
just
over the place.
Yeah, and the bans really surprised me. I didn't know Storm Shield's pool went this deep. Like I didn't know he played these things. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know he played Akali or Aatrox. I'm not sure that he does. Those might just be, bad bands, but I guess we'll see how well he does on the Tom Kench into CC's Riven.
Yeah, I think I would venture that that's like an okay matchup for both of those players. Maybe even Tom Kench favored, but I'm not a top lane player, so I can't guarantee. But what I do like is this bot lane because I am a Draven aficionado. I think they should win this lane. Like it's an awkward lane, but if Tofu Jin pops off, I think she'll be able to get the ball rolling pretty hard.
Yeah, she has picked up the Draven recently and has been spamming the life out of it. I'm surprised we didn't see more bans uh onto her list of champions, though then again she does play most of the list of champions in bot lane, so it is not that surprising that she didn't get any bans. But Draven Thresh is something that these two have been practicing, and I think we're looking at a really solid bot lane, especially against Avion Nervinxer, who I don't think we've ever seen Avion play in the bot lane, and Nervinxer is obviously new to the league, so
I think out of all the mages Avion could have played, this is probably the best because anytime you see Draven just walk forward at all, just bam, eat that boy, and he's gonna have a bad time. So I think the Thresh kind of has the more important role in this lane. Draven really doesn't get free reign to do whatever he wants.
yeah, I have to agree. And the Vigar Cage can just stop both the Thresh Engage off the hook as well as Thresh Engage off the Lantern. So it's a pretty solid counter pick in the bot lane. And obviously Janna is absolutely terrible to try and get through. The tornado, the knockbacks, the slow, the shields, very difficult to push through. So obviously, Piltover Firelights here trying to delay any bot lane advantages that might come out of Draven Thresh.
Hearing all those words kind of made me remember that okay, John is pretty defensive, Vagar's pretty defensive. Tofujin might be having a harder time than I initially thought. um, but if she takes Halo Blades, I think she'll be able to chunk, especially early in the lane. And if Moch hits those juicy Thresh hooks, maybe even an E Flash, something like that, could be nice.
Yeah, for sure. And I think another pick that we should be on the lookout for here is Hi Ariana Lol Kevin's Trundle against two tanks. Both the Galio and the Tom Kench are going to be juicy targets. Trundle, obviously a fan favorite and player favorite in the league so far. I believe it's the third or fourth jungler to play him now. So,
And I think for good reason. There is a lot of tanks being played in the league. And just as a side note, I feel like BCR has a lot of ways to avoid Trundle's pillar, actually. Like Tom Kench can run away, Galio can run away, Threshkin Lantern. Like, it's actually possible. Like, I think if they were going to have champions to go against Trundle, I think these might be some of those picks.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of BCR's picks into the Piltover Firelights here, Galio in the mid lane against two mages and an enchanter. That passive magic shield is going to be a big deal, and he loves to eat magic. That's part of his character arc.
See, I'm currently on the Galio hate train. I feel like now that I'm looking at it, they technically have a big wombo, a bunch of CC, but I don't know. I feel like they're gonna have a hard time dishing out the damage on those people that need to be dished out on. Like Riven could probably heal through a lot of it. Janna can probably knock everybody back. Like I think they're gonna have a hard time, but I hope they prove me wrong.
Yeah, we're getting into the load screen now. Looks like we are going to have just about one more minute before we can see some gameplay here, and then we'll see how all this plays out in the early game.
Very curious to see how this goes. Like I've seen so many Draven builds, I've seen different Diana builds. Like those two in particular, I want to see because if there's been a Diana build going around, the Sunfire Nashers. I wonder if she goes that because I don't actually know how much damage that deals.
Yeah, and I know BCR has been playing a ton with their team, testing out all sorts of various goodies here and there. I won't spoil all of them so that they can pull them out as they see fit throughout the season, but I've gotten to see a taste of some of those things in scrims and in practice games. So that'll be very fun this season to see how BCR breaks the meta a little bit.
Yeah, I'm absolutely interested in that. And I just as an aside, I would like to get a scrim against them, but we'll see how the future rolls out.
You heard it here, Nine Rain. Get a scrim against BCR. Talk to Tofujin about it. She'll set you up.
Wow, thank you, Cedric. Really setting that up for me. Making sure to call out my captain directly.
Well, sometimes he needs that extra nudge. Everybody knows that Nine Rain only does things when it's nine raining. You know what I'm saying?
Your wordplay. You're an interesting man. Oh, this is
Little spicy
nothing's gonna
punchies
happen.
up in the top lane. Anybody playing our drinking game, please do not drive, drink responsibly, and I am not liable for any damages that you cause during your drunken rampage.
Is it the Punchies minigame?
It is the punchies minigame.
Okay. Nice. I'd love to see it. I play a lot of Draven, but I don't actually know when you're supposed to start spinning your axe. Like when you leash. Let's see if she gets it. Oh, we're not going to be able to see because direct the camera.
Oh, we can get it. She doesn't have it in lane.
Okay. Okay, that's what I thought. Because I was like, I don't know what the timing is anymore. Like, it seems impossible or nigh impossible, but yeah, apparently it's harder than it used to be.
Yeah, for sure. Pretty standard lane openings here, pretty standard jungle clears. Looks like Citronet is backtracking towards bot lane here, maybe for an early gank. Jellyfish and a few pines playing the punchies game here as Kev is pathing up towards top.
I think I'm gonna like the Kevin pathing towards top play more. Like, I don't think Citronet can really do much here. Maybe she's just going back to the golems and gonna go back to blue. I'm not really sure. I guess you're the resident jungler here, so you could be proving me wrong.
That's suboptimal. It could be that she wanted to set something up with the Thresh, maybe for a dive, or maybe she's going to look for Kevin or look for something mid lane. Looks like she's pathing up there now.
Yeah, maybe she's gonna prove me wrong here.
Yep.
She has QE. That should pretty much be enough. Let's see.
Oh, here comes a few pines. The taunt lands. Here comes the QEW. And Pillar from Trundle. And we got a proper 2v2 here. Jellyfish getting dive on the back line. First blood goes over to Trundle as Jellyfish is low, but her barrier saves her.
Wow, that seems like it's about to be a little bit of a disaster, but a lot of sums blown. So potential for reganks here.
Yeah, both Flash and Barrier, Flash and Ignite off the mid laners. Both flashes from junglers gone, and now Citronet is getting invaded by CC here, along with Kevin to lose her topside jungle.
Dang, they're really pushing her out, making her suffer a little bit more than previously thought. Let's see what's going on. Cece's backing right now, but I think her wave's in a great place. Draven's pushing up with Thresh, which is, par for the course. But this is not really what you want to see when Draven can't really attack much here. But hopefully he'll keep those stacks. Obviously, I'm saying he has the champion. But hopefully they'll keep their stacks and cash that in later. Maybe for that big true damage ultimate.
Yep. Trundle just doing a sneaky little double crab play there, grabbing both of those to secure his lead. Notably, doesn't do much for him in the XP game. Probably would have been better suited to doing Raptors and then Krugs there if he wanted XP. But good gold for him, and he starts off with a Tiamat to get himself rolling into these 2v2 fights.
How do you like the Tiamat purchase? Because I've always been iffy about it. I feel like it might delay your power a little bit, but again, I'm not a jungler.
For Trundle specifically, it is really important because he is so single target, which is probably actually why he decided to avoid his Raptors and Krugs, because they are a multi-target camp apiece. But Trundle's damage is so focused on one target that it is very challenging to clear those camps without it.
Yeah,
With any amount
that.
of efficiency, anyway.
I can totally see that being the case, and I think it is really important for the clear speed. I was just curious, I guess, how important getting to that mythic was.
Here. Looks like she is getting blasted by Kev. Lux is here to grab the assist, and looking for the kill, doesn't pick it up, so that is going to go over to Trundle, 2-0.
Some unfortunate positioning here, but I could see what she was going for. That Raptors camp would be pretty juicy if she stole that away from Kev.
A little bit of a trade here in the bot lane. Yeah, she did get most of the camp.
Yes, she did. Ooh, I think Tahm Kench wins this if she keeps going hard.
Yeah, Trundle is on the top side of the map, so that is something that Stormshield is going to have to respect. But CC definitely trying to get this wave under the tower as best as possible. Trundle here looking for something.
I don't think he dives here. What do you think?
I don't think it's a good choice, but he might. He's looking for something in the topside jungle of Citrine, but doesn't find it.
Yeah, it makes a lot more sense because I saw him pathing over there. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be a scary one.
Yeah, unfortunately, they do not get all the vision that we have, so it is impossible to predict. But it is good for the knowledge of getting an idea of where Citrine is, so perhaps their bot lane knows to look out for a dive now.
Speaking of bot lane, it's... Ooh, oh, darn it. Yeah, this is kind of what I was saying in the pregame. Draven is winning by a little bit, but I think this could be okay if Draven does not die here. Like, if she can stack up a bunch of stacks, it'll be worth it. But if she dies before she can cash in, I think it's going to be kind of a tragedy.
Yep. Trundle on his way to the top lane now. We might see our first gank on the top laner.
Ooh.
Stormshield in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to look to jump out of here, but I think the Trundle pillar will interrupt that and result in another kill here going over to PF. Yep, there it is. CC's going to pick that one up.
Wow, that's huge. I feel like the pathing from Kev here has been really, really nice.
Yeah, incredibly strong. He clearly knows what he's doing. I know he's been spamming games all weekend to try to reconfigure his skills after being away for almost 2 weeks, and it's clearly showing off.
Clearly. Dang, okay, now he's getting...
Oh, here we go.
The blue side.
Ooh, Avian grabbing the exhaust to keep himself alive from Nervinxer, but Draven Thresh doing something spicy there.
It's just tough, man. I feel for her. I'm just watching this, and again, she has a lot of potential. It just scares me so bad. I don't want her to get picked by an unlucky play later, because I want to see that juicy cash in to maybe bring this game's gold a little closer. But I think that'll be instrumental.
Absolutely. Looks like bot lane here moving into the river, perhaps looking for dragon pressure as Kev is focusing topside still.
Do you think they're calling it out that Kevin's there? Like, do you think they're really predicting that, or?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's pretty. It's not very difficult to track a jungler, especially when you can guess based on your summoners where they're going to be. And here's that dragon, just like we expected.
Do you think in their shoes, instead of looking mid, do you think you would have rushed dragon there? Just
I
curious.
always try to look mid first to see if you can get an advantage. Because if you can get mid, then you can get the wave crashed, and then you win twice there. Because you automatically win the dragon, and you can then either get a plate or you cost their mid laner a wave, which is pretty nice to just sort of win twice over there. But I guess it depends. Lux and Jellyfish specifically are rather safe, so not always lookable, as it were.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was questioning it a little bit more than usual. But CC with no ult here, going back in.
Citronnade of Pines are going to find Kevin the River here. Trundle ult is down. Galio is leaving Citronnade behind. Lux picking up the kill there. CC in trouble, but Kevin Lux are on the way. This is going to be a 2v3. Kev taking a lot of damage. No Trundle ult here to save him. He is on fire, ticking down. And CC's low. No resources available. It's going to be just Jill against these two guys. I think
Oh, that
BCR
was.
could have continued.
I'm interested to see if that was like a team call to leave Citrone there, or that was just like a like on a whim call for a few pints to just get out of there and try to help Storm Shield instead.
Nice Thresh Hook landing here. Lots of damage coming down onto the Vigar. Lots of damage coming back onto the Draven. No mana available for Tofujin here.
These plays are getting very unfortunate. Is there? Oh yeah, you can click on Draven and see their stacks. I guess. I was gonna say, is there a way to do that?
Yeah, let's see. We got 196 right now. Counting up
All right.
just over 200 stacks here. So we might see a little bit more pressure on trying to get the Draven something.
I would love to see that. I think Citrone wants. Oh, she has her ult. Okay. Maybe she's gonna get down there in the bot lane. Even potentially go for a dive, but Kevin's floating around bot now, so this could be tough.
All the games going on tonight.
Oh my goodness, Tim has arrived on scene on the desk here to join us. What's up, Tim?
Not much, man. Sorry about the delay. My Uber driver got lost, so you know it happens.
Yeah, I also forgot to mention that Nine Rain was released from the studio dungeon today, so obviously that impeded your movement up the stairs as well.
That must have, because I did see a lot of cop cars outside. I think that's when my Uber driver got
Yeah,
all confused.
we'll have to put him back in the shackles. So
Well, hey, Tofu on Draven. That's exciting. I see that's going on. Avion on Vigar. That's a pretty good pick for him. Jill
Yeah.
on her Lux.
yeah, absolutely, a lot of comfort picks. Tofu playing a new comfort of hers. 3-on-3 here in the bot lane as Draven is going to do a pile of damage, picking up all of his stacks. 2 kills all at once. And Kevin is on the run as Jill and Pines are beating the hell out of each other, punching in the mid lane.
That is absolutely huge. I've been calling for that all game. She's gonna get a huge influx of gold there.
Yeah,
That's a good pick by
immediately 2k up on Vigar here.
Yeah, now the gold's even. That's
That's a big
huge.
Citrone ult too. She got both of them off the edge there, so little big play. I know some of us in this league have struggled against them before, so
I don't know about that. Citronnade is not my #1 rival and most my lowest win rate against player in the league or anything. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who she is, but
yeah,
definitely heard some things.
and that's something we should probably note. Citronnade and High Ariana Lull both returning champions off of the previous iteration of the Piltover Firelites. One of these players is going to continue their win streak.
Yeah, this is Kev's first game too, right? We saw. Did we see BCR at all? Or is
Yeah,
this
we
their
saw.
week 1 game.
We've technically seen VCR's week 2 game already. However,
Okay,
this is
yeah.
their week 1 game.
Okay, that's what I thought. So this is PF's first game of this whole season.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see Jill get her Lux the first game of the season. I feel like teams maybe just weren't really respecting it, and we'll see if they, respect it after this game. She's up 20 farm, she's 102. As you get into that late game, we all know that the Lux one-shots come out.
Yep. Another little
That was
gank here from Kevin.
I like that flash there. I don't think he should have went for the dive or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, there's no way of being sure that you get it against Riven and or Trundle. They are going to try and dive him here. Trundle tanking the tower for 2 shots, but his ult's going to heal him back up through that.
All right, crisis averted. Great play by Storm Shield.
Yeah, Storm Shield doing really well in this this tough matchup where he's almost playing 2v1 pretty constantly. Keeping up his CS, he is down a kill because of that one really successful gank, but holding his own. And he's looking to beat up Cece here.
Ooh.
Eats her.
Ooh.
He's going to toss her into the tower a little bit here. Big slappy's coming out. Super punchies, a flash away. We're fighting in mid lane
safe.
again.
This is a bloody one. I feel like there's been so much fighting with a little bit less deaths than I would think from all this chaos.
Yeah, all these guys are definitely playing to not die rather than to get kills.
That's back up here.
Yeah, and here comes the two champions that love to eat other champions. The pillar comes out, Storm Shield under the tower.
That was big from Storm Shield. I mean, go ahead.
He waited.
No, just,
Yeah, he waited. He waited.
He waited
just
so
as long
long.
as he needed. I mean, you could tell Kev was trying to hold the pillar until he did dash, but Storm Shield stood there as long as he could, and then saved the W for as soon as the pillar came out to save himself. So, huge play.
yeah, that was incredible. Storm Shield is soaking up so much pressure. Like, it's impressive.
And that's really freeing up this bot lane to do exactly what they're doing. First tower is going in favor of Tofujin and Moch here, in favor of BCR. And Kev is looking to even that up with a Rift Herald take.
And so super safe. There's absolutely no way to interrupt this. Yeah, I think it's about the best they can do here.
Yeah, gold's about even, 300 in favor of PF right now, probably attributed to the kills. But we got two dragons in favor of BCR. Draven is the one with both of their kills right now. An absolute 2,400 gold lead right now. Huge on the Draven.
Yeah, and she picked up that Sheen, so now she's going to really, really start chunking. Working towards that Essence Reaver. It's going to hurt really bad, a lot of those squishy members. I'm
Yeah.
just so excited about Draven, man. I can't stop talking about it. I'm sorry.
It seems to
You're a
have
big Draven
summoned
player,
some...
aren't
Yeah, it's his favorite.
It's your
Yeah,
favorite
no.
AD carry?
No, it's my favorite character. Like,
Is he really?
If you look at my... never mind. I won't talk for now.
Here we go. Galio going in. Taunt on two.
Two
Thresh
taunt.
hook. Thresh ult. Here comes the Diana. Lux ult going to try to chunk people out. The Galio leaping into the air for extra CC. Draven picking up one. Diana picking up one. Galio traded back over 2 for 1 in favor of BCR.
Man, that was a
That was-
huge setup from Isaac. Isaac gets the two-man taunt into the Diana ult. Thresh hooks in. Oh my god. They even got Janna flash during that fight.
Yeah, Trundles
Huge,
too.
that was almost a 2 for nothing, too. I think Galio was
Ooh.
attempting that flash to get away. Ooh.
Lex in
Good
trouble
grenade.
here. Lex no flash after that fight as well. They actually got all 3 of those flashes.
Yeah, she's in a little bit of trouble here. She's still got that barrier.
But yeah, I think the Draven play has summoned some of our spectators here. We do have Nolan and Valerian in the chat. Greetings, gentlemen. Draven and Thresh diving CC, taking a lot of damage here, dropping both the axes though and letting her go.
Wow, that's a lot of Draven players. I'm gonna have to open up Twitch stream to see my fellow boys talking about my glorious love.
It looks like they're going to push for this tower here. Janna is able to shield the turret, but I don't know if that's going to be a safe thing for her to do there. Pine's under assault by High Oriana Lull. Tower going down in the top lane. Jellyfish here to interrupt. Flash away from the Draven. And Galio looks like he is fine escaping the Trundle. So what are we looking? Oh, another taunt from the Galio here. Citronet here. What are we looking at here as the game progresses? We are now 1k gold in favor of BCR. 2 dragons. Next one's up in a minute. What do you guys want to see out of either team to crack down on their win cons here?
Well, this next dragon's coming up right now, right? So we should see some grouping through there. Citronet is backing to get there in time. Let's see. Thresh can set up some vision. It's 4 wards, yeah. Thresh will be able to set up a lot of vision here. Although red team is kind of taking over the jungle, so we will see how that works out. Citronet had her back delayed or something, because yeah. So we'll see if she can get back to the dragon in time, or if they're even going to fight for it. I'm not even sure.
Yeah,
A lot of uncertainty here.
Yeah, here comes Moch looking to clear out that vision, reclaim some of their jungle. Death Bush spotted out here, but not soon enough. He is taking the pillar, he's taking the Janna, he's taking the stun from Riven. Ignite down, and he is slain.
Really good pillar there from Kev. Not giving him anywhere to run.
That was an unfortunate situation. Red team really got to set up around the pit nice and early, so it was hard for blue team to kind of move forward.
Yep, looks like they're pulling out the dragon to keep Citrone off of it. I don't think there's any world where she goes in and gets that for free. Tosses a Q at it just in case, but TP from Vigar to stop the Tahm Kench push.
Yeah, I like that. Might as well. I don't think Vigar's TP... Ooh, no, he's the only TP in the game. I could be wrong. About to say it's not as essential as the other ones.
Yeah, it's just Vigar and then Kench with the TPs in this game.
About a 3k gold lead now for Sujin over Vigar.
Yeah, an absolutely massive lead, and on Draven nonetheless. So 2 items to his 1. Vigar does scale really well, whereas Draven does not scale quite as well. But for right now, Sujin is an absolute monster.
I really do think Draven is going to potentially have a lot of room to fight here, and I think he'll almost scale fine, like in a weird way, because he just has too much gold. Like, he's going to be chunking them out before the enemy can get gold, hopefully, so we'll see how that works. I don't know. I don't see anyone being hyper tanky enough to get away from Draven's damage.
Yeah, Trundle might have the option with either Tahm Kench or Galio stats under his ult, but other than that, I expect that PF has their work cut out for them trying to avoid those axes.
Absolutely. So Draven auto is basically going to be Veigar R, so we'll see how that works out. I'm excited.
Jill here, it looks like to be the win con for PF here, as she is looking to catch Moch here. Good flash out of him. We got a hook back. There's the ult. Moch taking a lot of damage. Trundle flashing forward to try and pick up the kill. Does. And Citrone's in the back line as Draven is trying to fight through this Trundle. Here comes the Galio.
Yeah, her ult canceled. Her ult was canceled there.
Trundle taking a lot of damage as the taunt lands onto Lux. Draven's trying to get in this, but cannot risk being caught by everybody. Cleanse comes out early. Galio trying to keep him alive, but does not. Shutdown goes onto the Trundle as well, and they are bludgeoning a few Pines to death. Riven gonna grab that
Baron.
one.
It's 21 minutes. It's Baron right now. I mean, Draven couldn't step up there. He kind of got baited in a little bit by Galio going in. You got the, I think Steve used to call it Save Your Buddy syndrome. And he walks up and just dies to the Trundle that still has pillar up. So now they're going to convert this to a Baron. They're going to get a little bit of a gold lead.
That is a huge swing for the Piltover Firelites here. I'm going to keep mentioning Draven, I don't care. Because all of those stacks are gone. It was just unfortunate watching that. Tofujin wanted so desperately to help her team, but she just couldn't do anything. She was not allowed to walk up, Kev zoning her perfectly.
Yeah, and a nice unified back here as all 5 members of PF were able to go over to the Baron and collect that. An absolutely massive, now 4K gold lead in favor of PF after being down most of the game.
I think this will also set them up very nicely to get that second drag. The Baron's going to help them push out all these lanes, maybe even get a tower or 2. They'll probably be able to push their advantage from what I could tell.
Yeah, I think what we want to see out of BCR is instead of seeing Moch get picked, we want to see him getting those picks, and what we want to see out of PF is now them pressing their advantage onto these objectives and towers.
That is an unfortunate catch in the Galio here.
Yeah, and he's just going to be crushed there. CC picking up her 4th kill of the game.
This is interesting. Do you think they should have more anti-heal on the team besides Tahm Kench? Because I always hate buying anti-heal because I'm greedy.
Anti-heal in this game is mostly going to be for the Janna ult as well as the Trundle ult. So I think with just the Tahm Kench, assuming that Tahm Kench is able to be in these fights, he has not yet. Assuming he's able to get into these fights, it should be fine. However, we want to see them fight around Tahm Kench and Draven together.
That's actually a huge point. I didn't even catch that Tahm Kench has not been near Draven for most of this game, if not this entire game.
Yeah, we haven't seen a proper 5v5. It has been mostly the Piltover Firelites grabbing a pick here and there, and then going to grab the objective that follows it.
Speaking of objectives, they did utilize their Baron. The waves are in pretty much a favorable spot for the Piltover Firelights. I can't really see the Bandle City establishing some dragon wards here, but we'll see, because we got Lux and Janna a little far back. Tom Kench is bot, so we are looking at a potential 5v5 here. Oh, Citrine is not at the dragon currently. This could be a problem.
Yeah, Dragon is alive, but Avian is moving towards the top side of the map. Tofujin grabbing the red buff, preparing for the fight. Citrine is going to arrive as they start the Dragon on the side of the Piltover Firelights. We might see a 5-on-4 here, or a potential pick on Avian as he moves over. Dragon is going down pretty quick here. All 5 members now beating on it. Bandle not willing to give up anything, trying to take it from them. And here comes the hard engage. We have the Shirelius proc off of the Janna. Not going to find anything.
Yeah, I think that was the right call for Bandle City to give up that dragon. I think that was very, very risky, even with the 5 members. But as we were saying, possibly the Piltover has a better scaling comp with the Vygar, so I don't know. I think it's a sticky situation.
This feels to me like BCR almost lacks damage too. I mean, Citrine ended up going for that Sunfire build on Diana. So I mean, they really only have the Draven damage coming out in these fights.
Yeah, and I think perhaps with the Trundle in the game, that might be a mistake in build to have the Diana. A little bit of a fight here. A few Pines in a lot of danger. Gonna be picked up by CC. CC getting a lot of kills on Pines specifically. That might be 5 for 5 there. But yeah, with another tank for Trundle to target with his ult, now 4 members that he can get some stats off of, that might just be not the play.
Yeah, I mean, I think she just kind of defaulted to it. It's just been the standard Diana build for a lot of people lately, so she probably just wasn't really thinking about it too hard. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely hurting their comp, I feel like, a little bit. Just the lack of damage they have. If Draven doesn't do damage, then they kind of just lose these fights.
Yeah. And heal cut becoming more and more prevalent here, the need for it anyway, as 2 Ocean Dragons, 2 more potentially on the way. If you're not getting heal cut, you might be in for a long, long game.
I'm interested. So I feel like, again, I'm not an expert or anything. I'm surprised there's not more grouping up from the Firelights. Like, if I were them, I would feel like I would have such a big advantage that I keep trying to press everything. But I'm also stupid. So they're probably right in splitting here, trying to create some pressure across the entire map.
Yeah, I think I like their style so far because it has been generating picks. It's forcing, you know, either BCR needs to group as 5 and, you know, address one of these issues, or they have to split and then get picked further, which is not what you want if you are BCR. Like, here we're seeing a disjointed fight. We have 2 being Shirelius'd out against 3, and then in the bot lane, Vygar's getting stacks, and we see Galio getting murdered by Trundle here. 2-on-1 here. Looks like Trundle's still going to be able to pick that up. Lux ult does land onto Citrine. Trundle is still so oh, a shutdown. Big shutdown onto the Draven there. Cashed in a whole pile of stacks. I believe we just saw her number jump up well over 1,000 gold there.
She got the execute there. I thought Kev was going to live. That was really surprising.
Yeah, the Lord Doms, is that, or is that LDR? That's the same thing. Yeah, big damage coming out of that. Doesn't matter how much armor you have. Draven ready to cut you down.
Yeah, we'll see if she gets to pick up that IE soon. That will definitely be really nice for her damage output. I still think she has good enough peel, but as we've been talking about, the damage is really lacking. It's all on her shoulders, but she's got a lot of gold on those shoulders as well.
It's fair.
Yep, and reestablishing those minion waves, you know, after these fights is crucial. We want to see them like hammer down this mid turret so they have a little bit more flexibility in moving around the map. But Dragon coming up here in about a minute, and Baron is standing.
Yeah. And Bandle City is not going to be able to establish any wards or vision or anything around this dragon, so it's going to be another give, I would assume. Setting up a death brush, we'll see if Moch falls into it again.
Here comes everybody. There's a bunch of CC landing onto Moch. Tofujin stepping back out of everything. Avion trying to finish off Moch, but does not find it. A few pines does not land anything. Of Tofujin forcing the flash.
He's behind.
Oh my goodness, everybody's fighting everybody. Here comes the Trundle. Galio's trying to peel. Citronet taking a whole pile of damage. Moch looking to get him out of there. Draven not able to cash in on anybody. 2 down already for Bandle City. And they are going to turn tail and flee.
And that looked great for a moment with that TP, that Galio coming in strong.
Good flash.
But again,
there by Moch.
Tofujin cannot walk forward. Oh!
Luxalt looking for another. That's their second Luxalt that fight. Moch still looking to try and pick her off for playing a little greedy there.
A dangerous game for sure. We're looking at 3 dragons. They're running up to Baron. I can't see them losing the Ocean Soul either, so...
Yeah, definitely a rough engage there. Now up about 5.5k. Most of that gold is on Lux, Trundle, and Riven. So their top side pretty far ahead now. And they're going to grab this Baron. Well, maybe we see a contest, but Citronet's still in base, so probably not.
Yeah, well, Draven, no, does not have ult.
No ult available just yet. Baron taken, and again, 5 of them going to base all together, except for Trundle. Kev, the lone warrior, headed to his Crux.
He's got a lot of camps up, so let's see what that pickaxe turns into. What is that, like Asterix? Or what is that hero build?
He's gonna go Sterix in. Or Death Stance, I guess you could also build Death Stance on that.
Yeah, especially if we're looking at only Draven for damage, Death Stance would not be a bad pickup here.
Yeah, I like that idea. And interesting.
Man, I just really like this team comp that Kev pulled out here. I mean, like, it didn't seem like much from the Viger, honestly, that last fight, but the fact that he's able to put up those cages and let CC and Kev just walk into the Bandle City Rockets is just so huge. Like, he doesn't even need to get the kills on Vigar because it's just going to scale. The cage just offers so much utility, and we've seen it in so many of these Pentakill games.
I think Vagar is going to be a huge pick this season. A lot of tanks, a lot of Vagar.
It feels like every game there's like one Vagar. At least once a week there's like a team that plays Vagar 1 week. It's so high priority.
Oh, Sujin getting beaten down by the Pillar and then the Janna and then the Luxalt. That is not what you want to see if you're BCR. But PF just hammering this home.
Piltover Firelites with that Trundle Pillar. With all this like long-range CC can really catch these people out.
Yeah, and I spoke to Kev a little bit before the game, discussing what he thought about, another rough fight here, Stormshield getting beat down. What he thought about Belf and Aya starting their own new team. And he said he was just cutting the dead weight. So Belf and Aya, that's a shot at you guys. Oh, a nice counter kill for Citronet. Does go down in return, but they do pick up the Janna there. Ariana Lal getting bludgeoned under the tower, taking a bunch of tower shots. Moch, captain on captain violence, my favorite part of the game, does get hooked under the Nexus towers, taking a few extra shots there. He is very low. Draven looking to make this fight even once again.
With that Infinity Edge, you know, maybe she gets a little scary, you know.
Oh, Luxalt says, not that scary.
Holy.
Oh my, yeah. All right, that's tough. That's just tough.
Nice amount of lifesteal here, though, keeping her moving forward here with Moch.
I should be able to heal back up, go back to base. I'm interested to see her last item and pretty much how they've decided to play out this game. Do you think they just give up soul, like they don't try to like flash Diana in and try to steal it? Like how important do you think the soul is?
Ocean Soul is so critical. I think it's the strongest of all the souls in the game, except for maybe Hextech Soul, which offers that very potent damage and slow buff. But I don't know, Ocean Soul seems really, really strong, and on Piltover Firelights team, I don't think that the Bandle City Rockets can afford to give that up.
So if you're Citronet here, you're flashing into the pit is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I would 100% flash into that pit for that dragon.
She doesn't have flash.
Oh, that was a great call, Tim.
It's no flash. I don't know how she's gonna get in there. I mean, they've just honestly been second to these dragons all game. Like, we've been trying to focus on that on my team too. I know we've all been trying to back around a minute to the dragon, and Piltover's just been there since the third dragon. They gave the first two, and then ever since then they put a really high priority on them. I mean, you see them now. They all reset. They're coming back. Janna got fresh wards. It's gonna do the same thing.
Yep,
Yeah, just
and just like that, on a timer, 50 seconds before the dragon, they're setting up vision. They're looking for a pick. They're looking for Galio here. Pillar comes down. Galio looking to jump through it. Still unable to jump through it. Lands the taunt, but does get picked up. Draven and the rest of the team on the run now, as Kev is looking for more.
Flash out of Tofu. He's
Yeah.
gonna pillar up.
There goes the Kench to peel. Kev now a little bit too far forward. Vigar getting hooked. The ult lands onto Tom Kench and not Sujin. Sujin is running. Draven does get picked up by the Riven. Moch on the run and under the towers. Here comes the final push, it looks like, as towers go down so fast. Citrone caught top lane, and the game is ending.
Nice kill from Moch, but yes, game over.
Clean game from Piltover, honestly. I mean, they were losing a little bit early. They gave that big shutdown to Draven. They were down 2 dragons, but they get the last 3. They get a couple clean fights. Jill goes 3-0-11. CC goes 9-0-2. Just really clean.
Yeah, some really strong rotations out of the top side of the map, and bot side just trying to hold down the fort so that Draven doesn't get too far ahead that game, it looks like.
Yeah, Piltover had just great control of the map.
Yeah, let's talk MVPs.
Ooh, so I'm interested. Before I talk about the MVP, I kind of want to mention the ace because it pains me to say it because Tofujin played so well. I really liked how Storm Shield played this out. He just sucked up so much pressure. He was a sponge.
Yeah, Storm Shield was getting absolutely focused down by the Trundle early on to try and get CC a lead. And in the face of all that, only, giving 3 deaths, including 2 of them around the dragon fights. So only 1 death in lane. Yeah, an absolute rock.
Now I want to hear your
I was gonna
MVPs.
give my MVP to Trundle until I see this guy, his #1 fanboy in the Twitch chat, Arcade Editions, just trying to suck his dick. So I'm gonna give it to CC 902 on that Riven.
He
man.
did have 100% kill participation, to be fair.
Yeah, he did.
He did have 100%.
Well, we'll give it to CC. CC's the GOAT, right? Like, let's be real here. CC, unkillable. Can Kev hold that title?
No.
I don't know. I
No.
don't think he can.
However, I'm inclined to give it to Jill, who had.
It goes to Kev.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to give
Let's
it to
be
Kev
real.
here.
It's Kev.
We're just giving him shit.
For me, like just stealing all the stats away from the tanks, and the biggest part for me is that juicy pillar keeping Sujin from entering and just being a big meaty body that she could not pass through. It was just tough.
Yeah, I mean, and the freaking Galio. The Galio was just getting pillared left and right. I mean, he pillared him out of an ult, I think, at one point during the fight before a dragon, like, because I saw the Galio ult didn't go through because I think Kev pillared him. It's just, he definitely is the MVP. I'm just giving him shit.
Yeah, Jill, I do want to mention that your farm was really high. However, Sujin did have a higher farm count than you, so I'm gonna have to give it to Kev there. If you had the highest
Sujin
number,
MVP.
yeah,
You're here to hear first.
yeah. If you had a higher number than Sujin, then I would go for it. But yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to Kev here with 100% KP. So hard to ignore. I think that's GG on our end, guys. We'll catch you next week for PF versus IWB tomorrow night, 9 EST.